انفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وعملا وإخلاصا وتجردا وتواضعا يا رب العالمين. Inshallah, we have a few questions, but before that we have a sad news. One of our brother Muhammad Khalil, which is the head of the Arabic and Islamic Studies Department in San Diego State, he passed away. And till now we don't know what is the cause. So inshallah we'll make dua for him. اللهم اغفر له وارحمه وأكرم نزله ووسع مدخله واغسله بالماء والثلج والبرد ونقه من الذنوب والخطايا كما ينقى الثوب الأبيض من الدنس. اللهم ابدله دارا خير من داره وأهلا خير من أهله. اللهم إن كان محسنا فزد في إحسانه وإن كان مسيئا فتجاوز عن سيئاته. اللهم اجعل قبره روضة من رياض الجنة. اللهم اجعل قبره روضة من رياض الجنة. اللهم ارحمه وارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين. اللهم اغفر لحينا وميتنا وشاهدنا وغائبنا وذكرنا وأنثانا وصغيرنا وكبيرنا. اللهم من أحييته منا فأحيي على الإيمان ومن توفيته منا فتوفه على الإسلام. اللهم ارزق أهله الصبر والسلوان. اللهم ارزق أهله الصبر والسلوان. اللهم لا تفتنا بعده ولا تحرمنا أجره واغفر لنا وله يا رب العالمين. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون سلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. And there is a janazah tomorrow at 2 for a young boy who passed away, 20 years old. So at 2 o'clock inshallah at La Vista. Tomorrow?
Yes.
And also there is another janazah at 11 a.m. at La Vista. Inshallah, may Allah give them rahmah ya Rabb. May Allah ghfir lahum warhamhum ya Rabb. So inshallah we have these few questions. And number one, as far as praying for the women with covering or without covering the feet, is it okay to cover the feet or not? According to the majority of the scholar, covering the feet is part of the prayer. You have to cover the feet. According to some scholars like the Hanafi school, they say no. What about if I don't pray Friday prayer and I am praying home? Should I pray Jumu'ah or pray Dhuhr? No, you pray Dhuhr. If you miss the Friday prayer with the Jama'ah, you pray Dhuhr. And Dhuhr, what does it mean? You pray the Sunnah before, you pray Dhuhr, then you pray the Sunnah after. As far as when I'm making tashahhud, do I need to move my finger in the prayer or not? It's moving the finger, it's the opinion of the majority. But all this thing does not invalidate your prayer. If you move it or you don't move it, it doesn't invalidate the prayer. And also, even for covering the feet, if sister prays without covering the feet, does not invalidate the prayer. The Quran in chapter 7 mentions the people of the A'raf. Could you please explain who these people are and what is their ultimate faith? The people of Al-A'raf is mentioned in Surah Al-A'raf. And Al-A'raf is a bridge between hellfire and paradise. And subhanallah, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke in the beginning of Surah Al-A'raf, spoke about the people that their good deeds is more than the bad deeds. And he spoke about the people that their bad deeds is more than the good deeds. And subhanAllah, this is the beauty of the Quran. And he doesn't mention the third group, he left it to you. Who are they? Huh? If we have one group that their good deeds is more than the bad deeds, and one group their bad deeds is more than good deeds, what is the third group? MashaAllah, equal. And this is Al-A'raf, the people of Al-A'raf. Because they don't have one more good deeds to take them to paradise, and they don't have one more bad deeds to take them. And of course, at the end they go to paradise, because the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always comes before his anger. May Allah not to put us in that situation. And that tells you, whenever you have chance, say subhanallah. It may make difference for you. So don't belittle anything. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. My friend is in love with a Catholic girl. This word in love need to be revisited. Infatuation, attraction, love. There is no love before marriage. And the expert says marriage starts 6 months after love. After marriage. Love starts 6 months after marriage. So there is nothing called. Because love, even though this is not the question, but I'd like to elaborate, because many people, they don't want to get married because they say, well, I don't feel I love. Love is not conditioned in the marriage. So what is love? Love is the fruit of a good marriage. When you have a good marriage, the fruit is love. So love comes after you do to each other. Marriage is not noun. Love is not noun. I don't know what's wrong with me because a lot of death. Love is not noun. Is what? Is a verb. I know some of you say, Sheikh, you don't know English. I'm not talking about grammar. The reality of love is a verb, is an action. And the action comes after marriage. So, anyway, that is just side issue. He wants to marry her, and here's my advice. And I don't know what to tell him. I want to tell you one thing, if you are listening. Your advice, if you tell him no, he's not going to listen to you. That's it. But you need to give the advice. If I were you, I will tell him no. Not because it's haram. Somebody may tell me, Sheikh, but I said, brother, I'm a sheikh. That's what I do for a living. I know it's halal. But the consequences are very serious. And the person who wants to do this person, he's not thinking about the children. He's selfish. He's thinking for himself. Why you want to marry her? For what? For sure, because she's beautiful, as it says. It looks beautiful. So then after marriage, you get what you want. What about the children? Who's going to be the mother? And well, she'll tell you, we cannot force any religion on them. They have to go one day to the mosque and one day to the church. What are you going to say? You cannot tell no. So the less it can be said is makruh. I don't want to say haram because somebody might say why. Because the goal behind the marriage is what in Islam? Is to increase the number of Muslims that they worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this brother needs to think a lot about it. Because this time will pass by, the time of infatuation and attraction. Then you face yourself with the reality. Don't come to me, I cannot fix it. And I will tell the brother who wants to give the advice, that's what you need to tell him, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. What is the ruling over if a husband does not sleep with the wife? Is the marriage valid? For how long like this? Why? He doesn't want to sleep with her. If he vowed and he said, I will not sleep with you. In this case, he has up to 4 months. This is called ila. When the 4 months is over, either he has to go and sleep with her or divorce will happen. لِلَّذِينَ يُؤْلُونَ مِن نِسَائِهِمْ تربص 4 أشهر فإن فاءوا فإن الله غفور رحيم وإن عزموا الطلاق فإن الله سميع عليم. But if he doesn't want to sleep for other reason, this is something else. So I need more clarification on the question. In a sexless marriage from a husband, I think maybe it's a continuation. How long until the wife can request divorce over this issue? What if a husband refuses? That is called, ending relationship in Islam, marriage relationship, in 3 ways. Either from the husband, The wife, she's doing her duties, but he doesn't like her anymore. That's how divorce happened in Islam. Just, I cannot give you a right anymore. That is called divorce. And he bear the consequences, whatever might be the consequences. Or is the opposite of this one. The husband is a good husband doing everything. The woman doesn't want him anymore. And because she is scared not to give him his right and falling into the sin. So in this case called khula, she has to bear the consequences. And what are the consequences? She has to give him back his dowry. Then we have the third one. When the woman feels that I am harmed in this marriage. Now she is harmed. If she is asked for khula, she will be harmed twice. I am harmed and I'm going to end up giving him my... And he doesn't want to divorce her. Of course, she should not ask for divorce. And this is wrong from the woman. Because when you say divorce me and he divorces you, he has the right to take you back. So in this case called at-tatliq, divorce for harm, or the imposed divorce. So she has to go to a judge. And in this case, we don't have an Islamic judge that he knows the ground for tatliq in Islam. There are 5 grounds. If they are there, the woman is entitled. Does not mean she has to do it, but it's her right. She wants to execute it, that's fine. If she doesn't want and she wants to be patient, that's fine. 5. And number 1, he doesn't want to spend on her. No maintenance. And all these 5, by the way, they are tangible. It's not something that you cannot measure. Either he doesn't want or he become poor. And number 2, which is the question, he doesn't want to sleep with her, abandoning her in the bed. And number 3, abuse, whether physical or verbal. And number 4, he got sick. That relationship cannot be there anymore. And number 5, he disappeared. And she doesn't know what happened to him. Some scholars said she has to wait 4 years. Some scholars said 1 year. So in this case, she has to go, talk to him, try to bring somebody to intermediate. If it's not, she cannot be penned in there. And he doesn't want to divorce her. This is haram. You don't want to do this, you don't want to do that. And subhanallah, when you read Surah Al-Baqarah that talks about the whole Islam is in Surah Al-Baqarah, what to do, not what to do. The longest verses is about family. Big section is about family. And all of it, subhanallah, whenever Allah speaks, he says, taqullah, taqullah. Because it's easy to give hard time to each other in the marriage. And nobody can detect it. When you have the fear of Allah, that's it. You don't want her, tell her, Assalamu alaikum. Why people, they don't like to divorce? Because they don't want to pay what? The consequences. So he gave her a hard time until she asked for khula. Okay. Legally, what you are doing is right, fiqh point of view. But in front of Allah, it will not work. Because you pushed her to ask for khula. If you don't like her, that's it. Tell her, please, I don't want you anymore. Here is your right. Assalamu alaikum. And vice versa. A sister doesn't want her husband anymore. She cannot give him a hard time until he divorces her that she can get her rights. Fiqh point of view, that's fine. But it's not halal. On the day of judgment, you will pay the price. The last one. Since a Muslim promises a dowry if his wife, for his wife. If the husband dies, will the relatives have to pay the dowry to the widow? Can the dowry be, I don't know what is a D. Number 1, when the person died, the first thing should be taken from his wealth. The first thing. And this is very important. Please, brothers, convey this message on my behalf. The first thing, if he has any money left, the first thing to be taken from his wealth is what? Huh? Before that, the burial. Everything. That's why some people, they have the money, they think this is for them, and they come to ask for sadaqah in the masjid. That's haram. You know, if he has some debt, he owes money to people and everything and so on, and he has $10,000, and that's what will take care of, that's what should go first. After that comes what? Debt of the people. After that comes what? Of Allah. If he has any zakat he didn't pay, or another he vow. That's why we write all these things in our wasiyah. When you write your wasiyah, you have to say that. I made a vow to do this, or I didn't pay the zakat yet, and this and that. After that comes what? The wasiyah. 1/3 that goes to the poor and the needy. Then the inheritors. So one of the rights that he has to pay is the dowry. Before we divide, it's not up to the inheritors to make favor to her. No, this is her right. But she has to prove it, that she didn't get it before. Otherwise, she may already gave her that, and she said, no, I didn't get it. So she has to prove that. That's why we need to document everything. Don't take things for granted. 90% of the problems between humanity, whether in marriage, whether in family, whether is what? Money. And that's why the longest verse in the Quran is the verse of what? Dain, loan. The longest, 1 page. Because greed comes. So I think we cover everything. If I say something right, is from Allah. If I say something wrong, is from myself. Jazakum Allahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.